Welcome back to the Rich Nonprofit. This is Straight Talk for mission-driven women. And today I want to talk about something that sometimes makes successful women feel uncomfortable. So uncomfortable that maybe they'll dance around it or make some excuses, pretending it doesn't matter. Wanting your name on something. Wanting visible leadership. Wanting to be recognized for the change you create. When you build an organization, a foundation, a movement, and you want to attach your name to it. We've been taught that that's ego, that wanting recognition is selfish, that the most noble form of giving can be anonymous or quiet or behind the scenes. And you know what? I think that is a bunch of BS. I don't think a man would think that. In fact, I know they wouldn't. So why should we? I think it's a damaging lie that successful women have been told. Because when your name is on something, you are going to show up differently. You're going to hold yourself to a higher standard. You're going to make sure that it works. You're not going to walk away when it gets hard. You're going to stay accountable because your reputation is on the line. Your family can see what you're building, your community, and you know what? You're not hiding. That is not ego. That is commitment. And anonymous giving is lovely. I'm not against it. But anonymous giving is also an easy walk away from. It's easy to do it halfway. It's easy to do a donation at a gala and then not really think about it again. When your name is on a program, a nonprofit, a building, I love that. You think about it every single day. You care about the outcomes. You care about the programs. You care about whether the mission is being served and if it's going to succeed or fail. And that is a different level of investment. And this is what I think the nonprofit sector needs more of. So why do we women resist this? Because we've been conditioned to believe that ambition and altruism don't go together. That if you want recognition for your impact work, your motives must be impure. And that caring about credit means you don't care about the cause. Again, nonsense. And again, it's a standard that's almost never applied to men. Nobody questions a man who puts his name on a building, a foundation, a scholarship fund. Nobody says, well, isn't that a little ego-driven? They say, what a generous leader, what a visionary. But when a woman does the same thing, I know, because I've heard, there's suddenly conversations about her motives. Wouldn't it be more humble to just give quietly? Does she really need that attention? Well, I'm tired of that, and I hope that you are also. Because that conditioning keeps powerful women on the sidelines of philanthropy. It keeps them donating quietly instead of building their own organizations. It keeps them supporting other people's visions instead of creating their own. It keeps them small in a space where we need more women to be big and to show future generations of women that they can do it too. So I want to reframe this for you because I think the framing matters. Wanting your name on something isn't about ego. It's about three things. First, as I said, it's about accountability. When your name is attached, you are personally invested in the outcome and you are not going to let it fail. You're not going to let standards drop because, well, your name is on the door. And that level of ownership creates better organizations because you are in it to win it. Second, it's about visibility. When successful women visibly lead impact work, it gives other women the permission and the, oh, I could do that, to do the same. Your daughters see it, your nieces see it. The young women in your community who's been told she should just focus on business sees it. Or move into engineering, which is great. I love that they're doing that for more women. But what about entrepreneurship? Women can do this. And running a nonprofit is basically being an entrepreneur. Visibility creates a ripple effect. Third, it's about legacy. Your great-grandchildren are going to look up your name someday, and they are going to find one of two things. Maybe a LinkedIn profile if it's still around, or a foundation that changed how their community works. A business bio or a movement that outlasted your lifetime. Which one do you want them to find? That's pretty powerful when you think about it. But legacy requires visibility. You can't inherit an anonymous donation, but you can inherit a mission. You can inherit an organization. You can inherit the story of a woman in your family who saw a problem and built the solution. To me, that's what a name on a building really means. It means your descendants know what you stood for, not just how much money you earned. Now let me address the fear, because there is fear, of course, underneath all of this. The fear of being judged, the fear of being seen as self-serving, the fear that people will talk about you and it opens you up to criticism. And yeah, all of that's going to happen. It's going to happen anyway. People are going to judge you. Some people will question your motives. Someone will say you're doing it for the wrong reasons. That's always the cost of being visible. But you know what else happens? The people you serve know who you are. They know that you care enough to build the program that changed their life. They know who funded the scholarship that got their kid into college, to be able to go to college. They know who created the resource that gave them a way through. And really, their opinion is the only one that matters. Not the opinion of people on the internet who have never built anything. Not even the opinions of people in your social circle who are uncomfortable with your ambition. Well, then maybe they shouldn't be in your social circle. And not the opinion of people who think that giving should be quiet and humble. The opinions of the people whose lives changed because you were brave enough to put your name on something and make sure it worked, and your own opinion, those are the ones that matter. Now, when women don't claim their impact work, it's really sad, actually, because I know you give generously. You donate to many different organizations. You show up to galas, you join boards even. You do all the things successful women are told to do with their resources. And nobody knows. Again, could be in your LinkedIn profile, but nobody really sees on the outside what you stood for. Nobody in your community knows what you are building. And I bet your kids, they see you maybe as a successful businesswoman, of course, but they don't see you as the leader who is creating change in people's lives. I don't want you to feel hollow, because I know that you're capable of more. I know you have a vision, probably resources, and the drive to build a nonprofit or a foundation with your name on it. And maybe you've been too afraid of what people would think. So you stay anonymous and scattered and stay small in this one area where you know you could go bigger. And that's what conditioning costs us women, not just visibility, but the full expression of who we are meant to be. And I have had clients come to me and say, I want my name on this. I want to build something people associate with me. I want to be the one. And I want my family to know what I stood for beyond making money. And that is not something to be ashamed of. It's something to be proud of. A decision to lead visibly, it's huge. It's a commitment to accountability. It's a declaration that your impact matters enough to be named. And I know that every woman's impact is huge and does deserve to be named. And here's something else I want you to think about. We celebrate this in every other context. Nobody criticizes a woman for putting a name on her business or being the face of her brand, for being visible in her industry. But you put your name on a foundation and suddenly it's too much? Suddenly you should be more humble? Please, that does not make any sense to me. You built a business under your name and nobody blinked. And now you want to build legacy under your name. You should not have to feel guilty about that. Your name on a foundation, on a nonprofit, on a scholarship fund, on a building, that is one of the most powerful things you can do, not for your ego, but for your mission and for your legacy and for every other woman who needs to see that it's possible. So if you could build an organization with your name on it, what would it do? Who would it serve? And what problem would it solve? Think about this and don't edit yourself and don't make yourself smaller to sound appropriate. I would love to know the full, unedited, audacious version, because that is what you are supposed to build. Because the people who need what you can build, they are out there and they are waiting for you to help them. So, no more making yourself small in this space when you know that you can be the biggest. Now, if you want to be in a room where people, women, are claiming this kind of audacious purpose without the apologizing and the, well, maybe I'll just wait, come join us over on Telegram. Nonprofit Ready. It's my free community. The link is in the show notes. And there's going to be tips. And I talk weekly about what's going on in the nonprofit world and how we women can create this big change. Again, your name on the building, that's not ego. It is a really great decision to help change your community. So let's get to it. And I'll see you next time on The Rich Nonprofit.